All right. Well, welcome everyone to Shop Talk with Sublime. This is our regular webinar series that we have been doing here with Sublime. And my name is Elizabeth Bell. I am the Vice President of Business Development here with Sublime Computer Services. So I just want to thank you all for joining us on this week's episode with us here as we just connect with each other and talk about different things that affect all of our businesses. So while we get started here, let's just hit some business points for the record. Why in the world are we doing a webinar series? Well, we are doing this because right now I don't have to tell anybody that we are really living in a really unusual set of circumstances. We've had a global pandemic. We have been sheltering at home. We are working virtually. Everybody's kind of in this virtual world. And here at Sublime Computer Services, we are a technology firm. We are the IT department for our clients. And so we really wanted to position ourselves during this time as a place where people could go for education or for advice or to get questions answered on how to successfully work during this virtual new normal that we're in. And so the webinar series was born. We hope to be sharing with you informative and relevant topics during this webinar series. We obviously will talk a few times about technology because that's what we do, but we do want to hit on lots of different topics that affect all different businesses. So marketing and telemedicine and HR and healthy lifestyles, all of those things we plan to discuss during these series. We are going to view these topics from 10,000 feet. And what I mean by that is we can't hit all of the topics all of the time and hit every detail, and so in an hour. And so we hope to give you plenty of information that will give you a hint of whether you want to go get more information, and then we want to let you know where you can get that information. We do hope that this is a positive and hopefully a little bit entertaining way for you to spend an hour. We do want this to be interactive as well, so please share comments, ask questions. And we are going to be doing these webinars regularly. We've been doing them weekly. However, in June, we do hope to switch to a monthly format, so we hope to see you on some of those future webinars. You can join us on sublimecomp.com, and it's /Shop Talk with Sublime. We are recording all of these sessions, so if you've missed one or maybe want to watch something again, they will be available. We're putting that on our YouTube channel and also on all of our social medias, our platforms. You can find us again on our website. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, most of those places. Find us, give us a follow and a like. So today's topic is going to be SEO and SWAG. What is this and do I need this? And who are you going to be listening to today? Well, as I said, my name is Elizabeth Bell. My official title here at Sublime Computer Services is Vice President of Business Development. But like most people in most offices, I wear a lot of different hats. And I do a little bit of the back end, kind of the paperwork type stuff. I do our marketing, I do our networking meetings, I do client education and give out client happies. And then also my biggest job is I am married to the president and the founder of Sublime, and I try to keep him in line. So that's kind of a full-time job to keep Adam in line. And although my current career is in business development and marketing, I am by no means an expert. And so today I have with me two experts in the marketing field. With me today I have Wendy Navarro. Wendy is the CEO and founder of Navarro Creative Group, and she is also a host of a podcast called Success by Design, so I'd suggest that you go check that out. She's also the founder of the Sumner County Women in Business, which is actually how I met her, so she's very active in our community and helping women business owners. My other guest is Cameron Mason. She is going to be sharing her expertise on the physical marketing pieces that we have. She's a branding expert. She's the owner of Target Mix Marketing. And as if one job was not enough, she has a second job as the marketing manager of Primary Residential Mortgage. So welcome, ladies, and I'm so glad that you all are with us today.
Thank you for having us.
So again, SEO and SWAG. So what is it? Do I need it? Really, we are just going to be talking about marketing, getting your message out multiple different ways, both online and virtually, but also physically and in person. Now, I am a little bit of a nerd. I enjoy research. I like finding out little details. I'm a history nerd as well. And so anytime that I'm doing a talk on something, or even if I'm going to go watch a movie or read a book on a topic, I like to actually do research on that before I start. So I started looking up some things about marketing. What is marketing? And what I found was there are a lot of different definitions and a lot of different flavors, if you will, when you start looking into marketing. Many different definitions, but they all say the same thing, just a little bit differently. So I did find this particular definition, which I felt like was the most straightforward. And the definition that I found is that marketing are the activities that a company undertakes to promote the buying or selling of a product or service. Now, there's very scientific definitions of marketing. They deal with research and target markets and statistics and checklists and strategies. And then there's the more artistic definitions of marketing, and those have more to deal with your relationships and client needs and communicating feelings and ideas. And so to better understand this, again, delved into a little bit of history on marketing. And the term marketing was birthed or born, if you will, in 1904. The University of Pennsylvania actually had a course offered called the Marketing of Products, and that term was officially born. This was at a time when there was an increased production here in America of products. We had the advent of the assembly line by Henry Ford, and he is attributed as saying, they can have any color they want as long as it's black. Henry Ford, of course, he's of the Ford Motor Company. And that quote, one, it made me laugh. And then also, it kind of sums up marketing at that time. They were really focused on just pushing what was produced. There wasn't a lot of choices, but there wasn't a lot of competition. And so products kind of sold themselves. Well, as technology moves forward, so does marketing. And in the 20s, we began to see radio marketing, and all of a sudden, customers were able to hear about other products that were available. We also had the Great Depression during the 20s and 30s. And so at that time, marketing became very aggressive, very in your face, false advertising at times, because they were just trying to beat out competitors for those customers. In the 50s, 40s, and 50s, people started having phones and televisions in their houses. And so you had a lot more educated customers and savvier customers. And so there was a lot of innovation during that time of commercials and ways to reach these new customers. Then in the 70s, we saw something come around called synergy marketing. Synergy is when elements are combined and the sum of those parts is greater than just an individual part. And McDonald's actually is a great example of this. They started this in the 70s, but it still continues today. So the example would be, if a movie came out, Disney starts a movie. Well, McDonald's will sell toys about that movie in their Happy Meals. And then Disney will have an attraction at their park that has to do with the film. Well, then in the film, McDonald's is mentioned or seen or implied. And so there's a lot of exposure on both sides. And so increased exposure equals greater profit. In the 80s, marketing begins to get a little bit more personal. People are not just focused on the customer, but they're starting to watch the life cycle of a customer, going from the prospect all the way to being a buyer, a customer. And there was a book that came out during that time called Guerrilla Marketing, and it it's kind of a play on guerrilla warfare, where it was more of that shock and awe and the originality, surprising your customers and showing why you're better and how you can be better than your competition. There's a quote in that book. The book was written by J. Conrad Levinson, and his quote says, "Away from the business arena, this term is called street cred." So in the 80s, marketing was really trying to build up reputations and street cred of products. Then we get the internet, and the internet just changed the world as we know it. Marketing, this is a great new medium for marketing, great ways to market, new ways to tell stories. It also had some bad sides. We also got the advent of spam, which no one likes even to this day, but it did open up a lot of doors. So you can see how marketing really has changed over this last century, from you get what you get to in your face. And then all of a sudden now we really are focused on how can we build trust and how can we get what the customer really wants. There's a quote. This quote is actually from Seth Godin. He is a business owner, executive. He is also an author and a speaker, and he teaches marketing, I believe, at Stanford University. But he's written several books, and one of the books says, "People do not buy goods and services. They buy relations, stories, and magic." And so that really puts us where we are now, in that marketing is not all about the product. It's also about your presence. And what is your presence? Well, according to Webster, your presence is the state or fact of existing or occurring. But it's not just the state of occurring. It's your style while you're there. It's your demeanor. It's your bearing. How do people feel when they're around you? How do people feel when they remember you or think of you? And there's lots of different ways for you to exude your presence, either personally or in business. So with that today, that's why we're hitting different sides of your presence. So with that, I'm actually going to hand over to Wendy, and she is going to talk right now about how we can tell people about our online presence. How can we get that out to people? So we will hand this over here in just a second as I give her control. There we go.
Okay, awesome.
Miss Wendy will take over.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Thank you, number one, for having me on with you, and thank you for putting this all together. I think we all love marketing. We all love helping our small business community and medium business communities, and being able to provide some relative timely information is always a good thing. So thank you so much for doing this.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to talk about SEO. Firstly, what is SEO? Well, it stands for search engine optimization. And we're going to go into a pretty good amount of what that means and why it's important. So first, however, I want to share with you a video that I think is going to kind of wow you with regard to the power of your online presence.
People conduct more than 3.5 billion searches every day on Google. How do you make sure they see your business? The secret is with search engine optimization, SEO for short. SEO is about getting your website seen on search engines like Google. Good search rankings are important because consumers see the top results as the most trustworthy. Studies show that the first 5 search results on Google get nearly 70% of all clicks, and a whopping 75% of local mobile searches result in a store visit within 24 hours. If you aren't showing up at the top, you're missing out. So, what can you do? Make sure your website is mobile friendly and loads fast. Provide information on your website that is relevant to your customers. Ensure your Google My Business page is claimed and verified. Create and promote a blog on your site that offers helpful content to customers. Stop hiding from your customers. Start your SEO strategy today.
Okay, so that's all great information and makes perfect sense, I think, but it's a lot. It's a lot to do. It's a lot of information. for people to kind of wrap their heads around. So today, I want to break it down for you just a little bit so that it makes more sense, and things that you can do in order to be successful online. So let's talk about first why it matters to your business. Well, first of all, you heard that there are over 3.4 billion searches done online every single day. That is not a month, that is not a year, it's every single day. So wherever you show up in your online presence is where your client needs to be, or where you need to be. Let's reverse that. You need to be wherever your client is. So let's talk about what that looks like. Well, let me get my notes up here real quick. All right, so web searches happen as of 2019. 92.18%, 92.18% of the market share is owned by Google. That means you need to be on Google. You need to be on Google. You need to be on Google Business. It's just imperative. And if you're not showing up for your what we call keywords or search words that people are looking for your business, then you're losing out on business. So how do you get that? How do you do that? We're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay, so we're going to talk about SEO and why it matters to your business. The first thing is that you need to be where searches happen. As of this slide here, you're going to see is 2018, but as of July of 2019, Google holds 92.18% of the market share, and 3.5 billion searches are conducted on Google a day, like you heard in the video. 63% of Google's US organic search traffic is originated from mobile devices. So if you do not have a mobile presence or a presence where your online website is able to be seen on different devices, people will bounce and they won't stick around to discover who you are. 90.47% of all world searches are made on desktops via Google. So anything that we do at Navarro Creative Group is done based on what Google is saying they need to happen on the internet. So it's really important that your business online presence is complying with Google's demands, really. So how do you create an SEO strategy for 2020? Well, first, let's make sure that we go back to the definition of what SEO is. Search engine optimization is a highly specialized content strategy which helps businesses show up higher on search engines and to gain more organic traffic. And what I mean by organic traffic is not paid traffic, by organizing a website's content by topic, which helps search engines like Google direct a user's intent when searching. The user, guys, here's the wild thing, right? You think that they are looking at the small businesses and the people who are paying for ads, and that is who Google's end user is. Well, no, we are actually a customer of Google. The end user is the person who is searching for information using Google's browsing engines. And that means that if I'm typing something into my search engine browser and I'm getting information brought back to me that is relevant to my search, I'm the end user. Google does not want to provide information that is irrelevant to the searcher. So it's important for them to know that the information they are pushing back to the end user is relevant to their search. That's their customer service. So there used to be tactics way, a few years back, actually not even way back when, that were called black hat marketing strategies, where businesses would, have these link farms, or they would have keyword stuffing. Well, Google looks at all of that now, and that's one of the things that they recognize, that if you are doing that as a business, you're actually going to drop in your rankings for Google. So it's really important to be ethical in all of your strategies and to be truthful in your strategies when it comes to getting people to where you live. And we'll talk a little bit about that. So by optimizing a web page around the topics, then keywords within that topic, you increase your expertise in the eyes of a search engine, and you'll rank well for long-tail keywords related to that topic. So there are 3 areas to focus on to achieve greater SEO results. You have your on-page SEO, which is any work that's done on the actual website, such as your title tags and descriptions, content, blogs, your structure, how easy it is for people to maneuver through your website, how long they stay on your website. These are all factors in good SEO ranking. Your off-page SEO is any work that is not done directly on the website, such as article writing, links to other websites or links from other websites to you, social sharing, which means people sharing your information. And then we have promotional methods and social media. A few years back, social media was actually not crawled by the search engine browsers, but it is now. So Facebook does matter, and there is a place on your Facebook page that you can optimize to be crawled for search engines. And then you have the local SEO. Local search engine optimization is a branch of SEO that focuses on optimizing a website to be found in local search results relevant to the user's search and terms. So it's going to be terms that scream local, including your SEO and your business citations. This is also where your Google My Business listing comes in and is incredibly important. Now, when you're creating the SEO strategy, here's something that is really important to understand and to make sure that you are following. There is an acronym that is very important with web design, online strategy, etc., and that's called the EAT acronym. The EAT acronym is: what is your expertise, what is your authority, and what is your trustworthiness? Now, Google doesn't just take you for your word for this. So there are certain elements that help you to kind of place within those different sections. Number 1 is your expertise. Expertise, let's go back. Sorry, all right. Expertise is how you communicate your knowledge in a way that engages people. You want to be the place that people who are looking for your service recognize as the expert. So you don't want to try and use too much jargon in your content, because that's where your expertise is going to live. You want to be able to find balance between being a comprehensive while keeping it simple, so that the people who are looking for your product or your service understand that you know your product or service. So that in and of itself is kind of like a nutshell. What is your expertise within your field? If you can prove that on your web pages through your content, that's a great thing. But it also means you need to understand what people are looking for you for, and being able to identify keywords that they search for, not the jargon that we use. If I use jargon that's all tech jargon, well, people aren't going to understand to look for that tech jargon. So what does my end user need, and how are they finding me? I need to understand those points. Then you have your authority. The authority is being an expert, but being looked at as an expert by other experts or influencers within your realm. So it's people who are within your vertical, and they're citing you as a source of information, or when your name or your brand becomes synonymous with the relevant topics, then you're not just an expert, but you become an authority. Now, this might be that people are linking back to you because they trust your authority. They're sharing your blogs because they trust your authority. The more you have of that, the more Google sees, and the higher you'll show up in your search rankings. Now, key performance indicators or KPIs, like I just talked about, the backlinks, the mentions, the shares, those are all really important to establish authority. Then you have trustworthiness. And trustworthiness, or even a lack thereof, is what can easily tank your rankings on Google. Your trustworthiness includes your reviews, positive or negative, and how you respond to those reviews. If you are ignoring reviews or you are not responding to negative reviews, then Google does see that, and it becomes a question mark about your trustworthiness. So you need to be actively engaging, even if it's hard. And then you want to associate your website with a physical address and a phone number. How are people able to connect with you? Those are all part of trustworthiness. If Google does not see that on your website, then it can affect your ranking in the search engines. And two more things actually. You have an HTTPS and an HTTP. These are the domain directives for your website. So if you do not have a secure or HTTPS website, that actually is something that Google will rank you for, bringing you down on the rankings, because they don't trust your website to be secure for the end user. So if you are operating without an HTTPS, it's really simple to get and to apply. You really need to do it. And a lot of older websites don't have HTTPSs. They're still operating on that HTTP. And Google even has a beautiful message that pops up when you're searching for something and it's not an HTTPS that says, "This site is not secure. Do you want to continue?" I wouldn't want to continue if I don't think the site's secure. So make sure that you are securing the information and, again, providing trustworthiness to the end user looking for your services. And then also have a privacy policy that is clearly accessible. It should be in the footer of your website. It should be in the menu of your website on a policy page. But it's really important that people understand what your policy is in the use of your website. So let's talk about how long it takes to gain momentum from SEO. I would love to tell you that it's done immediately, but unfortunately I can't. It does take time. It does not happen overnight. Some clients have seen their rankings result in going up in weeks, and most of the time, however, it's going to take anywhere from 3, 6, 9 months, and even sometimes a year. And the reason it may take longer for some than others is going to be competition. If you're in a highly competitive industry with millions of other businesses who are ranking or have been online for a longer time, and you're a newer business, it's going to take your business longer to reach those pages of SEO for first, second, or third listings. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't keep going. You need to work on it. You need to work on it consistently and constantly, and you need to tweak your SEO, which means your content. You need to add content on a regular basis. You need to be looking at your analytics so that you know how you're ranking. It's so important because you're putting time, money, and effort, and it's valuable. Your time, money, and effort is valuable. So it's important for you to understand how you are improving and how you are gaining momentum. So ways to know that if your SEO is working is that you have increase in organic search traffic. Your top performing keywords are driving traffic. You are increasing in domain authority or in backlinks. In other words, more people are linking back to your website, or more people are sharing your website. And you're increasing in conversion on call to actions, such as on your forms on your website. More people are starting to fill those out. Those are all ways that you know that your organic strategy is working. So what are some action steps that you can take to help develop your online SEO? Well, make a list of topics. Keywords are at the heart of SEO, but they're not your first step to an organic growth play anymore. Your first step is to make a list of topics that you'd like to cover. And you want to compile a list of about 10 short words and terms that are associated with your product or service. And you can do that by using Google's keyword tools, and that's free online. You just type in Google and keyword tools, and then you want to search for keyword tools. You'll also be able to see what the search totals are for that per month, and you'll be able to see what the competition level is. You want to look for keyword terms or long-term keyword phrases that are high search but low competition. When you're getting started, don't try and compete with the big boys. Figure out your niche and do really well in your niche. All right, we're going to go past this particular part of this because it's a lot about how to do this, and we want to make sure that Cameron has enough time to get in there and talk about promotional products. So if you have questions about using Google tools, please contact Navarro Creative Group, and we certainly would be happy to talk with you. So let's go into our page authority. So the way to develop your page authority and to be the expert, this is so important, and that's why I want to make sure that we get this in here, is setting up a blog. Your blog is going to keep your page up to date, relevant, and you're going to increase your keyword terms that you're utilizing for your business or your service. They're an intentional source of information written for your primary audience and their interests. It's great to write blogs that are fun and light and great and interesting, but how do those blogs relate to your business so that your end user relates to you? It's really important to think about those things. A blog should be part of your business plan and your business strategy. So you want to write about things that your audience or your prospects are interested in. Make sure that you're including the relevant keywords where appropriate, and use keyword tools to help make that determination. And your audience will slowly start to notice, and they'll start to click. And those clicks mean a whole lot to Google because it tells Google that you are providing value-added information to the person who's looking for your information about your business, which is, of course, their end user. You want to create a list of things, different blog topics that you would like to create, and then you want to rank them in order. Put a list of those 10 blog topics together, put them in order how you would like to rank for those, and then you can start writing about those topics. So making a plan of action is going to be really, really important to you. And then you want to keep your list updated and prioritize it by topics that will help you best achieve your business goal. One of the things to think about is what is going on in the world today. For example, with COVID-19, is that a topic that you can write about that makes sense for your business because your end user is being impacted or affected by that? We at Navarro Creative Group wrote a couple of blogs based on that, providing information to small businesses that allowed them to look up resources that would potentially be able to help them. And then you want to create internal backlinks to other blogs on your site to encourage longevity of visitors. So if I have a blog topic that relates to another blog that I wrote, I'm going to link back to that so that I can encourage people to stay on my website for a longer period of time, again, helping to affect your rankings on Google. And then share your blogs, repurpose your content, share your blogs on other social pages and groups that share an interest in that topic, and then redirect them back to your site where they can read more. So you're getting those external links. Those are all, it's an on-site blog, but the off-site efforts help to increase your on-site exposure. All right, so then this is another one. Set up and optimize your Google My Business listing. Think of Google My Business as an extension of your website, except with a hyper-local focus. With a well-designed and complete Google My Business listing, the closer the searcher is to your business, the higher up that you may appear on the search results. So use the posting area on Google My Business. This allows you to create posts, information like you would on a blog. And again, it's content-driven, potentially boosting your ranking in searches and informs and updates customers about you in real time. So many businesses don't recognize that Google My Business is almost like a blog now. They have made so many changes to it, and it's a valuable part of your online SEO. Google My Business is also where your customers are going to leave reviews about your business and where you'll respond to those reviews. And reviews are a critical component to your online reputation and can also help to elevate your ranking. So it's where you can create your presence in a positive way. So make sure that you're looking at all of that. And if you get a little overwhelmed with it, please feel free to contact us. We're happy to walk you through and to understand what all of this means, but don't ignore it. If you ignore it, it's not going to go away. But if you don't ignore it, it's going to help you tremendously, especially if you are a locally focused business helping within a certain mile radius. And then for more information about Google My Business, you can go online, just type in Google My Business in your browser and some information will come up and you'll be able to read more about it. We have a really great product that allows you to have a dashboard that will help you to understand how people are finding you, how people are, where people are reviewing you, where they're talking about you, so that you can kind of maintain your online presence and listen to what's going on online about your business. So I'd be happy to share that with you as well. And what can SEO do for your business? Well, SEO takes a lot of time and effort. Be sure to track your results regularly, whether it's weekly or monthly or even daily. But you need to be able to measure your success, because if you are not being successful, you need to understand how you need to tweak that. Who's finding you? Is it your demographic? Are they in the location where you live and your business is looking for your customers? And if all of that is in sync, then you're going to see an increase in traffic to your website and an increase in traffic to your store. If everything is done well, is concise, and is succinct, so that the end user knows who you are. And because the metric that you care about is organic traffic, you want to use Google Analytics in order to track that progress. Your Google Analytics is something that is coded into your website, and your web developer can do that for you. If you don't have a web developer, there is information online on how to do that. You can also contact us and we'd be happy to help you make sure that your analytics codes are set up so that you can track that. But again, you cannot ignore your SEO, because it's kind of like ignoring gold, right? Your pot of gold is sitting over here waiting for you because you've done a great job, or you haven't done a great job, and now you're putting all this investment in something that's not working. You want to make sure that you have a clear, concise plan in place for your SEO, and that you are measuring that SEO and how you are doing, and if you're doing well. And if you're not, you need to tweak and pivot, and that's okay. We've done it all kinds of times, so it's all right. And then finally, the takeaway for this is visibility equals opportunity. If you are visible online and people can find you for your product or service, you will have more opportunity to do business with more people. And while it may not seem tangible immediately, it is a pivotal part of driving organic traffic, and driving organic traffic is pivotal to building brand awareness and familiarity. So if your audience can depend on you to deliver relevant, high quality resources at the top of the search engine pages, then they'll be much closer to working with you or purchasing your product. And I think that's the bottom line, and it's a really easy concept to understand. Visibility equals opportunity. The mechanics of it may not seem quite as easy, and it's not, but it's so worthwhile to take the time to make sure that it's being done right. And if it's not being done right by you because you just don't want to do it, find somebody who will do it for you, because it's too important, again, to ignore. And if you have any questions for us, please visit navarrocreativegroup.com. You can actually visit our website for your free online performance and visibility report. This report is going to show you information about your online presence and your website and how it's performing. And we would be happy to go over it with you to help you understand how people are finding you, what words they're finding you for, what regions of the area they're finding you for. There's so much valuable information. It's actually something that we love to review with our clients because we believe that knowledge is power. So please feel free to go to our website and look for that. If you just go to the homepage, actually, you can just fill out the form that's on the homepage, and we'd be happy to go over that with you. But it is a free report. You're welcome to go download. And I just want to go ahead and thank you for listening. We appreciate, again, the time, Elizabeth, that you've given to us to share this information. And I know it's a lot. It truly, truly is. And we get it. We have been in business since 2006 when we started our first business, which it was an online store, e-commerce store, and we've had trips and falls and failures and highs and lows. So we are very empathetic with our small business and medium-sized business owners, and we listen. We'll listen to you, and we'll hear what you're trying to achieve and where you want your goals to be. And we are so happy to help you meet and achieve those goals. Please give us a call anytime. You can email or even call us, and we'll be really glad to talk with you. So Wendy Navarro with Navarro Creative Group at navarrocreativegroup.com. And you can follow us on social media. We share tips and information all the time, especially on new relative information that sometimes we're like blown away. You know, there's so much out there, but we'd love to help you understand how to navigate and maneuver being online. It's really our passion, and we'd love to talk with you. So again, thank you, Elizabeth.
No, thank you, because it is, and yeah, while we're transitioning over for Cameron, I thank you so much for sharing that, because it is, well, you described trips and falls and ups and downs, and I think that that's the journey of every business owner. But things have changed for sure over the last 5-10 years with the social media. So it is a full-time job to do your social media posts, and just to I was taking notes when you were, it is constant work and monitoring. So I highly suggest if you are at all thinking about, having your online presence bumped up a little bit, I would highly suggest getting a professional to help you, and Wendy's team would be great for that. So
we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yep, it is definitely something that we are very passionate about.
And it does take time. It does take time.
It does, and we're not going to lie to you. It takes time. That's why we have a full-time social media manager who helps our clients, and we have a full-time web designer, who helps our clients. I mean, it takes time.
It's a full-time job.
Yes,
so.
Absolutely.
Well, that Cameron, I think you have got the hosting abilities now. So and the great thing is, you go to Wendy, she gets your website up, you can put all your information on there, but then you get all these customers, and you've got to show them appreciation or you've got to show them who you are, or give them some fun gifts, or maybe at a trade show, and I know a person that can help. So, Cameron, take it away. She's going to tell you about that physical presence.
Yeah, so like what you were saying, I mean, with both of your presentations, marketing is such a multifaceted industry. There's not one position that is in marketing, or there's not one one industry you cater to. It's not, you don't clock in and you clock out and that's it, you're done.
Not anymore. You don't.
Yeah,
you don't survive if you have that mentality.
yes, you've got, web design, you have physical marketing, you have advertising, you have copywriting, PR, all these things that fall under marketing, which is probably why it's so hard to find a decent definition of marketing when you're searching, just because it changes all the time, just like it has through the years. But right now, we're going to kind of focus on what people are looking for right now when it comes to swag a little bit, being that, Wendy has you covered on the digital side, and digital is great. And, I think in this digital representation, being online in any aspect of that sense is a necessity in today's world. So to take Wendy's presentation very heavily, because it is so necessary to survive and make your business grow. And I've got to give a personal shout out to Wendy. She did my website and they did fantastic. So you're in great hands if you do decide to use her. But we've been, let's see, at least 20 years now, the world has been so heavily focused on the digital world, that we've kind of moved away from some of the tangible things and how to make a difference with tangible things. Yes, there's people who order swag being, pins, Post-it notes, or t-shirts, whatever it may be, but they don't necessarily know how to place that product with their target audience, or it turns into wasted money or wasted effort. So the purpose of having a sales representative like myself, when it comes to swag, is someone who has that marketing experience and the strategy behind using this specific industry to make a difference with your customers or your prospects now. And that's some of the things we're going to touch on here. But let's get into me first, introducing myself. Again, my name's Cameron Mason. You can find me targetmixmarketing.com. And I sell through one of the largest family-owned distributors called Geiger. Geiger is most notably known for starting the Farmer's Almanac. The Geiger brothers still have it to this day. Not the originals, but the family still has it to this day, which is a wonderful testament to the company. It's a really great company to work for. When you work for a larger company that's really established, you get, your customers get the pricing breaks. They get trusted suppliers, trusted products, things like that. So a little bit about me. I went to Western Kentucky University. I've been in the promotional products industry since 2013. However, when I was at Western Kentucky, I almost dropped out my junior year of college to go to the North American Racing Academy and become a jockey. However, my mom screamed bloody murder at me. So I stayed in school and got an actual degree. So I can't be too mad at her now because I'm doing what I love still. I immediately went to work as soon as I graduated for Geiger, their agency that was in Brentwood. And then I worked nonstop. They threw me to the wolves in the most positive way. And I've learned continuous improvement and certified advertising specialty certificate as well. And these are on the screen. You're going to see some of the accounts that I assisted with, such as Blake Shelton, Preds, Warner Music Group, Delta, Titans, and so forth. So I've really got a great training experience behind myself, because there's nothing like jumping into the pool, in the deep end of the pool, and working a $2 million account. That's for Warner Music Group and stuff. So it really helped to shape me up for having my own business in the future. So where does Target Mix get the name from? So it's a representing mixture of the marketing mix and your individual goals. This together creates a destination spot. This is you, this is your personal brand, this is your own mixture. If you were a perfume, this would be your brand. And this is what you would want you to smell like, I guess you could say, if you were Mariah Carey or whatever celebrities are doing these days. And also your marketing mix, again, this is marketing class 101, product, price, promotion, and place. But your marketing mix does come into play with promotional products as well, because we need to take that specific product and ask those questions, such as, what product do we need? How are we going to price it if you're reselling it or if you're buying it? How are we going to promote this to generate leads or go into your sales funnel? And at what place? What placement are we putting this? Are we selling it online? Are we taking it to trade shows, etc.? So these are some of the important questions that a sales rep will need to ask you when you're looking to create your own promotional product line for your brand. Product marketing. Promotional product aims to enhance a brand and solicit a call to action. So you may have heard that on the digital space of things, call to actions being, give your email now, register now, sign up here, click this link now. Those are call to actions. We want you to perform something for us to engage with the prospect or the client. But it's no different than promotional products. Promotional products are there to solicit some form of a reaction from the person you're giving it to. So whether it be you thanking an employee with a accomplishment or a lead that you're passing by at a trade show booth, these are all things that you have to think about. What action do you want this prospect to take when you buy a product for them? If done correctly, the product is utilized to bridge a gap and need within a brand's marketing campaigns and strategies. So you have your marketing team. Your marketing team is working on everything you could think of in the digital world, in the tangible world. They're outbound versus their inbound selling systems, and promotional products being one of those specific aspects of your marketing plan. How are we going to take this product and how are we going to connect it, this brand, to the product, and how is this product going to connect with your audience? And that product is going to act as a breadcrumb, right? We want these products for people to kind of come in and take the bait and get to know you better, but also really identify with the brand that's represented with that product. So let me back up. The easiest way to describe this is I'll use Wendy as an example. We have digital and we have tangible. Tangible being the physical, digital being the digital. And it's also kind of known as outbound versus inbound. So inbound would be you going out to sea and you put bait in a crab trap and you drop the crab trap down into the ocean. That's inbound because you're bringing all the crabs to you and you didn't have to do any work. Outbound is another way of marketing. Outbound is you taking your net and you're casting it as far as you can into the ocean and reeling it in and see what you catch. So that is how you're going to kind of bridge the gap between the different ways you can catch a prospect, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my brain, but who knows what's going on up here anymore. Okay, so product marketing is needed for customer retention, brand awareness, authentic connections between business-to-business relationships and business-to-customer relationships. All right, so here are some general numbers, some statistics you can rely on. 88% of people remember the name of the advertiser on a product they were given in the last 12 months. 83% of American consumers like receiving promotional products with an advertising message, according to this publication. 1 out of 2 consumers walk around with a promotional product, such as a wearable item or a pocket product, every single day. I could look on my desk right now and I could find a few different promotional items as well. Let's see, and 79% of consumers have looked up a brand after receiving a product, 89% of those being millennials. This is a really great point because people think that millennials and the upcoming Generation Z, they are completely unaware of any tangible marketing materials, which is actually not true. Millennials and upcoming Generation Z they actually are growing up in this world that is so digitally dominated that when you actually put something in their hand and distract them from their phone or whatever's going on, or how they are used to receiving information or advertising messages, it actually makes a bigger impact in their head, because they don't get things in the mail. They don't meet people on the street to give them things like maybe we did in the past. A really wonderful example of this is Amazon. So Amazon, as we know, that it started as it's an online business, and but if some of you may have gotten in the mail last year the Amazon Christmas catalog. So this is Amazon's attempt at also dabbling in the tangible marketing world to potential customers and making a difference and standing out, because in the world that maybe we grew up in or were used to, where we got our JCPenney or our Sears Christmas catalogs, those are a thing in the past. However, they're playing on not only nostalgia, they're building into authentic relationships by using this physical product. They're doing something that none of their competitors are now doing anymore, and it's making a difference. But they started as a digital company. So it shows that tangible marketing tactics are not necessarily outdated. Now, the top 10 categories currently are apparel, and this is in order of most sales. So apparel, writing instruments, calendars. Actually, calendars have dropped down, and technology is moving up into its place. Drinkware, bags, desk, office, business accessories, recognition, that's like trophies and awards, technology, games, and textiles. So these are a little bit of the things that we dabble in. I could put a logo on your forehead if I was allowed to, but apparently that's illegal. So, okay. And then most popular items of 2019 were wearable items, drinkware, bags, writing instruments, and techwear items. So keep that in mind for what people look for. This is also what consumers are looking for. So if you are trying to order something and think, what do people want? This is a good list to go by, the things that people are most welcoming at receiving. Now, top uses are some of the simple things: brand awareness, trade shows, incentives, PR, referral programs, on and on. And then we have buying industries. So a lot of different industries can get creative and utilize promotional products. And then here are just some simple marketing terms that you can remember and work on. We've already touched on this a little bit, such as the definition and the product price, place, and promotion. Now, the thing with that your sales rep should help you with is how to be creative, how to use your brand and stand out from the other brands. And as Elizabeth kind of touched on, we're in the age now that marketing has become a relationship type of level. People want to buy you and identify with the brand before purchasing with them. It's not like you can knock on their door and sell them things anymore like in the 50s. So this is using promotional products is a way to help make that exchange and make that relationship with your customers, or package something that'll stand out from your competition and gain viewership from leads or prospects. And your sales rep, such as me, we stay on top of what's new, different, trending, and so you can ask your sales rep, what are some of the cool things that are different right now that no one else is doing right now? And that's some of the things that we could answer. And that's why maybe you would want to use a sales rep over just Googling it and ordering something online, kind of maybe not sure if your logo will come out pixelated on it. Things like that is also something your sales rep will help you with. You can also always buy name brand products as well if you want to associate your product with high quality. Now, tips when ordering, don't wait until the deadline to order the goods. If you want to have a good maybe 2 weeks in advance to order something, just in case anything goes wrong, or you maybe want to make changes to your order. Vector artwork is also something I can help with. Vector artwork is the artwork file, like an Adobe file or an EPS file, that the printer uses to scale and manipulate your logo as needed to print. And if you need help converting your logo or just coming up with a logo in general, if you're just getting started on creating a brand, that's also something that I can help with as well. Okay, and that is me, my friends. That is a quick, simple, broad topic that is promotional products. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. Instagram and Facebook are a really wonderful way to kind of see what's hot and happening. I post new products almost daily on there, and you can really kind of see like a working portfolio as well to kind of get your brain juices flowing on what's out there. Email me anytime. Go to my website anytime, and I would be happy to answer any questions for anyone.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that was short and sweet, right? Just like Cameron. But no, Cameron does all of our here at Sublime. She actually does all of our promotional products as well, and so yeah, she does, and she does a great job. And she's right. What I love about working with her is that yeah, I walked in the first time we ever sat down and I was like, yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. What do I need? and she was great. I mean, she really, what do you want to do? And what are you trying to, all of that stuff. She really did sit and hold my hand. So that was really great.
Yeah,
So
I see him over your shoulder.
Yeah, and that's not even, she's, koozies, who knew, right? But those are some of the, I mean, I'm constantly giving those things away, so which is great. So I highly suggest, really, both of you ladies. I think as a business owner, or if you are maybe even your marketing person at a business, you can't wear every hat every day. And so I think being able to know reputable companies, especially locally owned, women, owned, just supporting each other, I think is just really a great thing. And Navarro Creative Group and Target Mix Marketing are really great companies to at least talk to, let them, find out what they can do for you. So, lessons learned. We have talked about marketing. There are lots of flavors of marketing, lots of pieces to the pie. So we've talked a little bit about that. We've learned it's not all about the product. It is about your presence. We've talked about the online presence, your physical, tangible presence, and what are those things? How do I get those things? I think the best quote of the day, Cameron, I wrote down, if you were a perfume, this is what you would smell like. And I think what a great way to talk about presence, whether online or tangible. So I think that's great. I wrote that down. I'm going to use that somewhere. So, but I thank you all ladies for doing this with me. I hope that you all have enjoyed this as you viewed this, gotten some information. As far as upcoming topics, here are some things that are going to be on our webinars coming up. We are going to be talking about productivity tips, HIPAA compliance. What is one simple way that you can achieve HIPAA compliance? Make it easy. That's what we're talking about in June. In July, we are going to be talking about business continuity. And then in August, ticking time bombs you might have in your office and how you can diffuse them. So we are talking a little bit about cybersecurity in August. So you can register for those on, again, our website, sublimecomp.com, and that's /Shop Talk with Sublime. We'll also have links for Wendy and for Cameron, so you can catch up with them and what they're doing as well. So with that, I am going to say thank you for attending and being with us, and stay safe, wash your hands, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.